If your child melts down over things that seem so small, like the wrong cup, a change in plans, being asked to get dressed, or stopping an activity, you are not alone. We see this pattern every single day. Parents often describe feeling confused because their child can be loving and smart and cooperative one moment and completely overwhelmed the next, seemingly out of nowhere. These reactions often get labeled as dramatic, attention-seeking, or behavioral, but what we consistently see is something different. These are not random tantrums. They are signals from a nervous system that has run out of regulation capacity. One of the most important shifts parents can make is understanding that tantrums are rarely about the thing that sets them off. The cup, the transition, the request, or the boundary is usually just the final demand placed on an already overwhelmed system. Throughout the day, your child's nervous system is constantly processing sensory input, emotional demands, movement, sound, expectations, and stress. When that system does not have enough capacity to handle all of that input, it reaches a threshold. Once that threshold is crossed, even something small can trigger a huge reaction, not because the child's choosing to overreact, but because the system can no longer regulate. To understand this clearly, it helps to look at how the nervous system works. The sympathetic nervous system is responsible for alertness, protection, and action. It is the gas pedal. The parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for calming, recovery, digestion, emotional regulation, healing. It is the brake. Regulation requires balance between these two symptoms. When the sympathetic system stays dominant and the brake cannot engage efficiently, the body stays in a heightened state of alert. In that state, the brain prioritizes survival over reasoning, over flexibility, or emotional control. This is why logic, consequences, or calm explanations often do not work during a meltdown. The nervous system is not in a state where it can access those tools. This nervous system pattern explains why many common parenting strategies fail despite consistent effort. Rewards, consequences, timeouts, or coaching assume that the child has access to regulation in that moment. When the nervous system is overloaded, that access is not available. Parents are often unknowingly trying to fix behavior while the system underneath cannot regulate yet. This leads to frustration on both sides. The child feels misunderstood and overwhelmed, and the parent feels like nothing's working. What is often misinterpreted as defiance is actually a nervous system stuck in fight, flight, or freeze. In our office, it's common to see children who have frequent meltdowns over small things also struggle in other areas tied to regulation. We often see difficulty with transitions, sleep challenges, sensory sensitivity, emotional flooding, or constant movement. These patterns tend to cluster together because they share the same underlying issue. The nervous system has limited capacity to shift states smoothly. When that capacity is low, the child may appear reactive or explosive or emotionally intense, especially at the end of the day or after periods of stimulation. These are not personality traits, they are regulation patterns. The focus of care in these cases is not about treating tantrums directly or labeling a diagnosis. It is about improving the nervous system's ability to regulate. When the nervous system receives consistent, appropriate input, it can learn to access the parasympathetic system more efficiently. This means the brake can engage more easily. As regulation capacity improves, the system can tolerate more input without becoming overwhelmed. Once that foundation changes, strategies that never worked before often begin to work because the nervous system is finally able to respond instead of react. As regulation improves, families often notice that meltdowns become less intense, shorter, and easier to recover from. We frequently see children who used to escalate quickly begin to pause, recover faster, or move through frustration with less emotional flooding. Parents often report that transitions feel smoother, bedtime resistance decreases, and emotional swings are less extreme. These changes do not happen because behavior is being forced. They happen because the nervous system has more capacity to handle that everyday demands. If your child has frequent tantrums over small things, there's usually a reason, and it is not bad parenting. I'm Dr. Steve Lako with Lako Family Chiropractic. We specialize in pediatric and family care with a focus on supporting nervous system regulation and the development. If this explanation feels like it fits what you're seeing at home, you can learn more about our approach on our website or give our office a call to schedule a consult. Because when the nervous system can regulate, behavior often changes naturally.